It's time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on 95.1 FM, weather always comes first. Debbie's going to move slowly inland through northeastern South Carolina and then change track northeastward Friday and Saturday, moving from the central Appalachians into northern New England. Heavy rains, flash, and river flooding are likely along and to the north and northeast of Debbie, while isolated tornadoes are possible to the east of the track. Much above average temperatures are going to persist over the next couple of days across much of the west into the southern plains and south. Below average temperatures are going to spread across the northern and central plains and upper Mississippi Valley. Record heat is coming to an end from the southwest into the south by end of the week, and a fire weather threat as well as poor air quality continues from the Pacific Northwest into the northern Rockies and Great Basin. Close at home, showers and thunderstorm chances will continue. The storms are going to be confined to the mountains and areas along and west of the Continental Divide. Temperatures are going to be above the norms across much of the lowlands. Through the middle of next week, Monday is going to be the warmest day. We'll have another look at the weather following this news. Due to needed water utility work at City Hall, water service may be shut off or disrupted between East 10th and Mountain View and between Cuba and Washington today between 8 and 2. City facilities that may be affected include City Hall and the Alamogordo Public Library. The Alamogordo Recreation Center Gymnasium remains closed this week for maintenance, so there's going to be no open gym sessions, and the gym will reopen on Monday. The Otero County Planning Commission will conduct their regular scheduled meeting on Tuesday, August 13th at 1 o'clock, 1101 New York. For more information, call Sylvia Tilbrook, 575-437-7427. The Alamogordo Police Department is hosting a neighborhood watch meeting. That's on Thursday, August 22nd at 6:30 at the Sergeant Willie Estrada Memorial Civic Center, 800 East 1st. For more information, check out the Alamogordo Police Department Facebook page. Kitty City is going to be teaming up with Alamogordo Animal Control this Saturday at the mall.
Kitty City's next kitten and cat adoption event at the White Sands Mall will be Saturdays, August 10, 17, and 24. We have a plethora of kittens that are cute, cuddly, and curious.
That's Kathy Denton with Kitty City speaking with Crazy Radio. Check out kittycitynm.org to see who is available for adoption and other information. Great news from Animal Village NM. You can once again get your dog or cat spayed or neutered for just $65. Sonny Aris told us all about it.
In Otero County, that is Paw in Hand on Cuba near Albertsons. In Lincoln County, that is Ruidoso Animal Clinic. The vet will schedule your surgery for you after you have the paperwork from Animal Village NM. Then you'll get your pet spayed or neutered for just $65 instead of hundreds of dollars.
AnimalVillageNM.org for details. Dr. Becca Michael told me that there's a new book in the Taco series. Taco discovers space in Alamogordo, New Mexico, and sneaks onto Holloman Air Force Base.
He had a lot of fun at the Space Museum. He got to see the Aero Chimp. He got to learn about the Apollo mission, the Moon mission. He got to don a space flight uniform, play on the lunar surface that they have there at the museum for the kids. He went up all the levels of the museum. He had full access.
Among the photos are ones of Taco the chicken in a spacesuit, on airplanes, and even beaming down from the Starship Enterprise. Available soon everywhere books are sold. You can hear this interview in full on the Crazy Radio YouTube channel. The outdoor watering schedule is in full effect for the city of Alamogordo. If your house number ends in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, you may water your lawn on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If your house number ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, you may water on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. All watering must take place before 9 a.m. and after 6 p.m. We also heard from Tularosa Mayor Debbie Cooksey, who shared the village's similar schedule.
The odd members water on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. The even members water on Tuesdays, Thursday, and Sunday, and nobody waters on Monday.
Cooksey also shared why the schedule is needed.
Well, we don't use as much water. I mean, I know we get our water from the creek, and everybody thinks that we have tons of water, but as you well know, if you've done any studies or heard any people talk about it, our creek is going down, decreasing in water every year. So we're trying to do this to keep our water. That's the main purpose of it. New Mexico water is gold. If you got water, you're rich. And we're trying to keep our village, running.
If someone is caught not abiding by the water schedule, that individual could be fined. Well, today is Thursday. It's time for Lauren Noble's Thursday Thought.
Good morning, 95.1 listeners. This is Pastor Lauren with our Thursday Thought. I have not been watching the Olympics. However, it seems to be a lot of uproar over gender, the opening ceremonies, and a lot of people are offended by everything. It seems to me that when I, and likely many of us, think or hope that it cannot get much worse in society, something else comes up, and the song by Bachman Turner Overdrive, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, pops into my mind. I can't help but wonder how much more crazy society will get. Not just in the Olympics over gender and some of that stuff, but in society as a whole. I know that gender identity when I was growing up seemingly wasn't a question, and I don't recall it anyway. Maybe I'm just getting older and a little less of my remembering, and I also look at that and think if I would have been confused over my gender, my parents would have quickly set it straight as to what gender I was. But that's not the case today. Society leaves me kind of scratching my head thinking, what next? Let me say a prayer for us. Lord, I do pray for the craziness in the world today. It begs the question of when will it end or where will it end? And will the pendulum swing back to what us older folks once called normal again? Or is it going to slow the other way and go even further to one side or the other? But help us to try to understand and embrace the society we live in as the best way we know how to deal with them, because criticism and being offended is obviously not the answer, but there has to be one somewhere in the middle. Amen. Until we meet up again on the airwaves, blessings to you.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Local news from local perspectives, from local voices. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Local sports, local events, and local happenings and more. Nonprofit owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Heard daily on Crazy KALH Radio 95.1.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
The Hobbs Police Department is investigating the death of 26-year-old Jonathan Lasoya. Officers responded to a call on Tuesday evening and found Lasoya with a life-threatening injury. He was taken to the hospital where he later succumbed to those injuries. Hobbs detectives are seeking 26-year-old Lexi Mabry as she is wanted for questioning regarding this death. 31-year-old Christina Bennett of Albuquerque has reportedly agreed to plead guilty to a charge of child abuse resulting in the death of her 5-month-old daughter. Albuquerque police charged Bennett last July. 3 months prior, investigators said the child's grandfather called police after Bennett showed up at his home, saying her daughter was dead and refusing to let anybody hold her. Paramedics pronounced the child dead when they arrived. When police arrived, Bennett was detained. While in custody, she reportedly kicked at officers, refused arrest, and did not cooperate. She even refused to show up for court. Bennett already had an outstanding felony warrant for previous child abuse charges. The autopsy detected meth in the infant's blood. CYFD says they were unaware of Bennett's child abuse charges prior to her arrest and her daughter's death. Bennett faces up to 18 years behind bars. Judge Stanley Whitaker has not yet set a sentencing hearing date. A Clovis police officer is facing felony charges for acting as an informant to a wanted fugitive. And what's worse, the police department knew about it for over a year, but he was never prosecuted, and the paperwork was never filed to get his law enforcement certification revoked. Special Prosecutor Andrea Reeb spoke to KOAT about this case.
He was harboring a felon. He assisted her in kind of looking out properties for her to burglarize. He distributed narcotics to her, and then he was running warrant checks and things like that for her on different people.
Officer Frank Carreri has now been charged with 4 felonies, including dealing meth, aiding a felon, and accessory to burglary.
There was also some type of sexual activity, nude photos, and things of that nature that we were able to see on their phones.
The fugitive 29-year-old Alexandra Romero came forward when detectives began questioning her about breaking into a home in Clovis.
She knew an officer who had been providing her with some information and some drugs. She allowed them to look at her telephone and some of the information that was on her phone.
That was Captain Robert Tellis, who oversaw the criminal investigation. The department opened an internal affairs investigation and, according to a memo written by Chief Roy Rice, he said it was decided not to pursue the complaints, and though there was evidence to show a criminal violation had occurred, their opinion was there was not enough evidence to get a conviction. The case sat for over a year before Reeb got a hold of it. Reeb said charges were not initially pursued because Romero had left the state. However, she returned and was staying at the Curry County Jail, awaiting trial on murder charges. Carreri resigned from the department and moved to Hawaii. He later got a job in construction. But because the academy was never notified, he could have grabbed a job with another agency had he wanted. His attorney is now working with the special prosecutor to have him back in New Mexico in order to face charges. Dr. John Hill, a Democrat who was running for State House District 53, withdrew from the race due to health concerns. I spoke with Hill about the decision.
I have cancer and I've been designated terminal. So in my mind, I can't do the job that the people of District 53 need to have done. It was not a happy decision, and it was not an easy decision.
Our thoughts and well wishes are extended to Hill's friends and family during this very difficult time. The Las Cruces Bulletin states that Hill endorsed Sarah Silva as his replacement. Democratic Party spokesman Daniel Garcia confirmed that DPNM State Central Committee members who live in District 53 will meet on August 22nd to select a new nominee. As students return to school, an old familiar problem is back as well. Some schools in New Mexico are dealing with hot classrooms. Anna Cherry spoke with KRQE about it. She has grandchildren who attend Adobe Acres Elementary.
The school is stifling hot. You can't be in there for more than 10 or 15 minutes with everybody in a room and everybody's fanning themselves. It was excessively hot.
In Rio Ranchos, Enchanted Hills Elementary, Ernest Stapleton Elementary, and Mountain View Middle School all had cooling problems this week as well. It forced them to delay the first day of school. Now, this problem isn't new. Year after year, parents and teachers have raised concerns about hot classrooms at the beginning of every school year. Albuquerque Public Schools say they're addressing the problems as fast as they can, and technicians have been working throughout the summer testing HVAC systems before the school year began. In the meantime, they're bringing in fans and temporary cooling units for areas without adequate AC. Weather's next. You're listening to Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
This is Lieutenant William Skaggs with Alamogordo Fire Department. Have you ever thought about a career in the fire service? I'm happy to announce that Alamogordo Fire Department is currently accepting applications for the position of firefighter. We offer competitive wages and benefits, as well as pay incentives for experience or lateral firefighter transfers. We also take applications with no experience. As for we provide 100% paid on-the-job training for all of our firefighters. For a full job description or to apply, you can go to alamogordofd.com or the City of Alamogordo website. You can visit Human Resources at City Hall or come by the stations if you have any questions. Our command staff and firefighters will be more than happy to answer any questions and walk you through the process. We hope to see you at our next testing.
Your Crazy Radio spot on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for partly sunny skies with a 20% chance of showers and storms. Partly cloudy tonight, 20% chance of showers and storms, winds gusting as high as 25 miles per hour. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a 40% chance of showers and storms, winds gusting up to 24. Your high today in the Basin, 98. Low tonight of 69. High tomorrow, 96 degrees. In Cloudcroft, partly sunny skies today with a 20% chance of showers and storms. Partly cloudy tonight with a 20% chance of showers and storms, winds gusting as high as 25 miles per hour. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a 40% chance of showers and storms, winds gusting up to 24. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 77. Low tonight of 51. High tomorrow, 73 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org, and learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. That concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.